welcome to yet another edition of Science Monitor, your favorite weekly program on science and technology related news. First, here's a quick preview of what is coming up. Mangalyaan crosses halfway mark to the red planet, has covered a distance of 3,400 lakh kilometers so far. How will India's space program look like in the 21st century? Scientist Dr. Kasturi Rangan throws light on this in his lecture. College students show interest in subject of biotechnology. Dr. Vijay Raghavan speaks on importance of biotechnology. IIT Delhi student a genius. With his new device ensures hemoglobin testing in blood is made easier. Increase in population of rhinos in 5 national parks of the country. And in our segment In Focus, we shall discuss about the part played by science in the development of society and the importance of nature. And now the news in details. India's famous Mars orbiter mission or Mangalyaan has crossed the halfway mark of its journey to Mars along the designated heliocentric trajectory. It was on 5th of November last year that India's space agency ISRO had launched the Mangalyaan on its way to the red planet. By this week, Mars orbiter has travelled a distance of about 3,400 lakh kilometers, and it is expected that it will reach Mars by 24th of September 2014. Let us get you all the details about Mangalyaan's journey so far.
India's Mars orbiter spacecraft or Mangalyaan crossed the halfway mark of its journey to Mars along the designated trajectory at 9:50 am on April 9, 2014. Mangalyaan was launched into Earth's orbit on board PSLV C-25 on 5th November 2013 by the Indian Space Research Organisation. On December 1, 2013, the spacecraft was set in its course towards planet Mars through a heliocentric trajectory by performing a trans-Mars injection maneuver. Again on December 11, 2013, soon after the spacecraft crossed the sphere of influence of Earth, a trajectory correction maneuver was performed successfully on the spacecraft. The Mars orbit insertion maneuver that would adjust the spacecraft's momentum to allow it to enter the orbit of Mars would be performed on September 24, 2014. ISRO has been continuously monitoring the spacecraft using its deep space network complemented by that of NASA JPL. According to reports, as the spacecraft is on its designated trajectory, the trajectory correction maneuver planned for April 2014 will not be essential. If required, the next trajectory correction maneuver is planned to be carried out in June 2014. It is also reported that Mars orbiter spacecraft and its 5 scientific instruments are in good health. At present, the radio distance between the spacecraft and the Earth is 39 million kilometers. A signal from the Earth to the spacecraft and back to Earth takes 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Soon, the high-gain antenna of the spacecraft will be put in service for handling communications with the ground stations.
A lecture was organized by Indian Council of Management and Future in Delhi's India International Centre on India's position and success so far in the field of space science in the 21st century. Well-known space scientist Dr. Kasturi Rangan delivered a lecture on place of India in the field of space in the 21st century.
What will be India's contribution to the field of space science in the 21st century? Will the common man be able to fulfill his dream of space tourism? How will India herald its way to success in this field? What are the areas that we need to work upon in order to find success, and what are the technologies that we shall be working upon in the days to come? All these questions were answered by India's well-known space scientist Dr. Krishnaswamy Kasturi Rangan in his lecture at Delhi's India International Centre Auditorium. Kasturi Rangan was speaking at the 5th Dr. Satish C. Seth Memorial Futurology Lecture Series organized by the Indian Council of Management and Future on India in Space, a conceptual framework for the 21st century. In his lecture, the former ISRO chairman and Rajya Sabha MP, Dr. Kasturi Rangan explained in very simple and effective way about India's future in the world of space science.
Space is a good subject because I am reasonably familiar, having been associated for more than 3 to 4 decades working on this particular area. The other aspect is, of course, we are able to space. If you really look at it from 1957, when the first Sputnik was launched, is hardly 50-60 years. You talk of universe, which is 13 billion years, more than 13 billion years. You talk of a solar system, which is about 4 billion years. And these are the time scales that one talks about in trying to talk about the cosmos. And here is a subject which has just come. We are not even at the tip of the iceberg of what the space promises for the future of the mankind.
Kasturi Rangan is a member of the Planning Commission and was earlier the director of ISRO Satellite Center, overseeing the development of new generation spacecraft, the Indian National Satellite INSAT-2 and the Indian Remote Sensing Satellites IRS-1A and 1B, as well as scientific satellites. On this occasion, Dr. Kasturi Rangan presented his lecture in which he elaborated upon India's role in space in the 21st century. In his lecture, Dr. Kasturi Rangan stressed on the need to have cost-effective transportation system for space travel missions of the country in the future. He spoke of the need of strengthening our navigation system worldwide and also mentioned about manned flights and space tourism. Besides, he stressed upon the need to develop new technologies to study Moon even more extensively. There were a number of similar issues that Dr. Kasturi Rangan spoke about.
In order to encourage biotechnology in the country, a lecture was recently organized in the national capital, Delhi. The Secretary of Department of Biotechnology, Dr. Vijay Raghavan, spoke at length on the importance of biotechnology. The 3-hour discussion saw active participation from students as well. Here is a report.
It was a rare occasion. Secretary of the Department of Biotechnology, Professor K. Vijay Raghavan, addressed students, faculty, principals and coordinators from some select colleges in Delhi. In an inspiring lecture at Gargi College this week, he exposed them to how they can lead the reinvention of life sciences research and transform India. He showed them that biology is exciting because it helps us answer crucial questions about our existence. He addressed several interesting questions on the relevance of biosciences, scientific queries and career choice confusions that students posted. Professor Vijay Raghavan said that biologists ask 3 basic questions: where do we come from, how we are made and how we function. While genetics helps us delve into questions about where we came from, embryology, molecular biology and development biology helps us answer questions about how we are made. Again, streams like physiology helps us probe into question of how we function. He explained how the field evolved over the years and works of scientists links the different fields to answer the crucial questions about life. He said several Indian scientists doing pioneering work in the key areas of bioevolution, embryology, physiology and applications in medical and agricultural biotechnology. The gathering was students and faculty of colleges enlisted under the Star College scheme under DBT. Star College scheme supports select colleges and university departments offering undergraduate education to improve science teaching. It aims to improve the skills of teachers by organizing faculty training, improved curriculum and emphasizing on practical training to students by providing access to specialized infrastructure and consumables.
IIT Delhi has once again proved its mettle in terms of talent, as one of its students, Ambar Srivastav, has developed a device called True HB Hemometer to test hemoglobin that will make the testing of hemoglobin in blood easier and cheaper. Well, what exactly is this device and what are its advantages? Let's find out in this report.
In yet another affordable biomedical innovation to meet the healthcare needs of the country, Ambar Srivastav, a student of IIT Delhi, has successfully developed a mobile phone-sized hemoglobin meter that has been named the True HB Hemometer. True HB Hemometer, expected to be crucial in identifying and checking anemia efficiently, works like a conventional glucometer. It estimates the hemoglobin levels with just a tiny drop of blood from a pinprick on the disposable strip. It not only reads the accurate hemoglobin level within 45 seconds, but also stores up to 1000 such readings. It is portable, can be charged like a mobile phone, and allows up to 300 tests per charge.
So basically it's an optoelectronic device. It works on the principle of optical photometry. It utilizes a very advanced patent pending biochemistry technology, which has resolved an age-old problem of carboxyhemoglobin interference. So for laymen, you may assume that it's a small glucometer kind of a device which measures hemoglobin at point of care and on the spot.
The device has been developed with funding from the Technology Development Board of the Department of Science and Technology at the IIT's Center for Biomedical Engineering. This was established in 1971 as a joint center between IIT and AIIMS to develop healthcare technologies. True HB Hemometer is to be made available at cheaper rates than the currently used CBC counter to test hemoglobin levels. A CBC counter currently costs between 2 and 10 lakh rupees and needs regular power supply. Efficacy of the True HB Hemometer has been tested and proved in patient blood samples at AIIMS. Chronic anemia is a major health problem in India which calls for accurate measure of the hemoglobin levels for diagnosis and effective treatment. In this context, True HB Hemometer comes as a boon to health workers, blood banks and primary health centers in India.
If you happen to visit Gorumara and Kaziranga National Park this year, then it is likely that you will spot the rare one-horned rhino. This is because a census carried out recently has shown that the population of rhinos in West Bengal's Gorumara has risen to 50 from 40, and in Assam's Kaziranga National Park there has been an increase in the number of rhinos by 39. Here are more details in this report.
Gorumara National Park, located in West Bengal's Jalpaiguri district, is a grassland forest ecosystem primarily known for its population of Indian rhinoceros. The park, that was declared as the best among the protected areas in India by the Ministry of Environment and Forest for the year 2009, now has one more reason to be proud of. The two-day census of the Indian rhinoceros in the park, conducted by the State Forest Department earlier this month, has shown that rhinos have been healthily breeding in Gorumara National Park, and the number of rhinos in the park has increased to 50 compared to 40 during 2012 census. This number is reported to be the highest number of rhinos in the Gorumara National Park and the adjoining areas over the past 100 years. The census was focused on direct sightings of the animal in about 110 square kilometer area, including the national park. Other than Gorumara, the Jaldapara National Park in the district has 180 rhinos. Jaldapara is the second largest habitat of one-horned rhinoceros in the country after Kaziranga National Park in Assam. The Kaziranga National Park also has recorded an increase of 39 rhinos in 2013 after losing about 125 of them to poaching, high flood and natural death between January 2012 and March 2013. In 2013 census, a total of 2,329 rhinos were counted at Kaziranga National Park. While increasing the number of rhinos has come as encouraging news, forest officials are concerned about the uneven ratio of male-female rhinos in the area. Ideally, there should be 3 female rhinos for a male rhinoceros. In the census carried out in 2012, there were 14 adults and 15 females, and the rest included sub-adult males, females and calves. The male-female population during this census is yet to be determined. Officials also share concern regarding the poaching of rhinos and fodder crisis for rhinos in national parks like Kaziranga, which needs special and urgent intervention.
Time to take a very short break here, but we will be back with more science news, so stay tuned. Welcome back after the break. You're watching Science Monitor. And now let us take a look at scientific activities across the country and in the world in our segment Science Express.
Soon, children in India suffering from pediatric TB will stand a better chance of being diagnosed early and treated without much delay. Keeping in mind the problem of near-total neglect of childhood TB and difficulty in diagnosing TB in children aged under 5 years, Indian Academy of Pediatrics and Child TB Division of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and RNTCP have planned to train doctors to correctly suspect and diagnose pediatric TB on time and manage the disease. IAP will target pediatricians from the private sector and medical officers at public health centers and family practitioners. Public Health Foundation of India, in collaboration with the Union Health Ministry, recently organized a consultation, Alcohol Control Public Health Perspective, moving forward towards a comprehensive national alcohol control policy. The aim of the consultation was to develop a coherent strategy to control non-communicable diseases in the country with a special focus on alcohol consumption. C.K. Mishra, Additional Secretary in the Health Ministry, said that there is a need to address the problem of alcohol use from public health perspective with multi-stakeholders involvement from government, civil society and like-minded organizations. The consultation also discussed a draft white paper on alcohol control in India. A final white paper on alcohol control from this consultation will be presented to the government. A body belt which can protect people from the worst effects of gamma radiations has been developed by an Israeli company named STEMRAD. The device has been named STEMRAD 360 Gamma and weighs just over 15 kilos. The structure of the belt is three-dimensional and very unique. The device can protect the wearer for doses of up to 1000 rads, a high level of radiation poisoning that can cause serious illness and even death. Though it doesn't offer full protection or allow an unlimited stay in an irradiated area. The belt hasn't yet been tested in real radiations environment, although simulations using mannequins have demonstrated its effectiveness in absorbing radiation. If you're a nature lover and staying in Delhi, then you can learn and enjoy from an innovative tree walk organized by the BNHS Conservation Education Center in New Delhi. The tree walk will be held at Lodi Gardens on 20th April 2014 from 7 to 9 am and is open for everyone. During the walk, people will be introduced to the botanical wealth of Lodi Gardens and explain why the trees are important for all living beings. For more information, you can write at cecbnhsdelhi@gmail.com.
Science has contributed a big way in leading to the development of our society. And now the time has come that we should put all our efforts to develop science and technology to make our country financially strong and viable. However, we should keep in mind that while striving for development, we should not harm our resources. Thus, we should aim for the development of society by means of technology while confining ourselves to the limits of nature. This might sound difficult, but it is not impossible, and it is the right thing to do, so that the future generations can also enjoy what nature has provided us. In our segment In Focus today, we shall discuss about the part played by science in the development of any society and also the importance of nature.
Post-independence, India has been steadily striding forward on the path of industrialization and economic growth. This progress, needless to say, has been facilitated by the advances of science and technology. Science and technology plays a crucial role in every segment of life and betterment of society. A simple example is the way the S&T has revolutionized the communication sector. Indeed, with the application of science and technology, the world has shrunk into a global village and now man is exploring the potentials of outer space. Pandit Nehru, an ardent advocate of science and technology for development, rightly said, "It is science alone that can solve the problems of hunger and poverty, of insanitation and illiteracy, of superstition and deadening customs and traditions, of vast resources running to waste, or a rich country inhabited by starving people." Who indeed could afford to ignore science today? Indeed, the future belongs to science. But as we explore newer and newer avenues of scientific innovation, a burning question presents itself. Are we being unmindful of our natural resources in our quest to attain rapid development? Many instances of indiscriminate use of natural resources that has led to deterioration of environment along with erosion of human and social capital has come in light in the past year. The chemical industry hub at Lote in coastal Maharashtra that employs 12,000 people while disrupting the livelihoods of 20,000 members of fishing community due to water pollution or uranium poisoning of the soil of Punjab by the fly ash ponds of thermal power stations are but just a few of such incidents. According to India's State of Forest report released in 2012, the forest cover in the country had declined by 367 square kilometers with the green area decreasing in 14 states when compared to the statistics of 2009. This not only affects the environment adversely but also has a negative impact on the lives of local communities whose livelihoods are associated with forest products. Unfortunately, this trend of declination and deterioration has been seen in other areas like water and mineral resources as well. Such wasteful and careless use of resources in the name of development has led to lopsided growth that erodes human and social capital, and experts say that if this trend continues, there will soon be an age of scarcity where resources we now take for granted are increasingly expensive or, in the worst case scenario, not available at all. Under such circumstances, it is clear that India needs to adopt a symbiotic and sustainable development model that makes prudent use of its resources, creates productive employment on massive scale, and creates equal opportunities of growth and empowerment across the country. And science and technology again has a huge role to play in developing such an innovative model for symbiotic development. The complex and dynamic challenges associated with balancing technologies and industrial growth along with preservation of depleting natural resources require effective scientific interventions. Fortunately, the high-end computational and scientific technologies available today make it possible to design and implement such interventions. In the recent years, it has also emerged that the concept of citizen science is the best step towards ensuring balanced development in harmony and environment. Citizen science promotes the involvement of local community members in the decision-making and monitoring process. Gandhiji said, "The world has enough for everyone's needs, but not enough for everyone's greed." It is high time that we start working towards sustainable management of resources and economic development and undertake endeavors required for the creation of a symbiotic society.
And what has been this week's contribution to the history of science? Let's find out in our segment History of Science.
April 15, 1452. Leonardo da Vinci, the Italian artist, sculptor, architect, mathematician, engineer, scientist and writer, was born in the then Republic of Florence. Often described as the epitome of the Renaissance man, Da Vinci is known for his great paintings and technological ingenuity. Greatly inspired by the laws of science and nature, Da Vinci's observations and inventions were recorded in 13,000 pages of notes and drawings. His drawings of the Vitruvian Man describes the proportions of the human body. Da Vinci's famous paintings include The Last Supper, Mona Lisa, The Virgin of the Rocks, etc. April 16, 1853. The Great Indian Peninsula Railway operated the historic first passenger train in India from Boribundar in Mumbai to Thane, covering a distance of 34 kilometers. This was the first lead towards the birth of the Indian Railways. The first train was 14 carriages long, nearly 21 miles in length, and drawn by 3 locomotives named Sultan, Sindh and Sahib. It took approximately 45 minutes to reach Thane. April 16, 1867. Wilbur Wright, who along with his brother Orville Wright is credited with inventing and building the world's first successful airplane, was born in Millville, Indiana. The Wright brothers built the first plane and made the first controlled and powered human flight in this aircraft on December 17, 1903. Later, Wright brothers also developed the first practical fixed-wing aircraft and the 3-axis control, which enabled the pilot to steer the aircraft effectively and to maintain its equilibrium. April 18, 2001. The first variant of Geosynchronous Satellite Launch Vehicle or GSLV Mk-1A was launched through the first developmental flight called GSLV-D1 from the Satish Dhawan Space Center by ISRO. GSLV D1 carried the GSAT-1 satellite and the payload weighed about 1540 kilograms. GSLV D1 carrying GSAT-1 failed to reach the correct orbit as it ran out of fuel several thousand kilometers below geosynchronous orbit. April 19, 1975, Aryabhat, India's first satellite, was launched. Aryabhat was built by the Indian Space Research Organization and launched by the Soviet Union from Kapustin Yar using a Cosmos 3M launch vehicle. Aryabhat was solar-powered and was built to conduct experiments in X-ray astronomy, aeronautics and solar physics.
So, how do you like our program Science Monitor? Well, do send in your comments and suggestions through email. Our email address is news@vigyanprasar.gov.in. You can also send us your suggestions by post. Our postal address is Vigyan Prasar, C24, Qutub Institutional Area, New Delhi 110016. That's all in today's edition of Science Monitor, but we shall meet next week with more dosage of science news and exciting information. Till then, goodbye and take care.